The advancement in AI has resulted in the overall growth of the humankind, but its impact on faith and religion is often not addressed. Experts say major global faiths are discussing the relationship with AI, and some are starting to incorporate this technology into their worship. Robot priests can recite prayers, deliver sermons, and even comfort those experiencing a spiritual crisis. Hi, my name is Devansh Sharma, and I am a third year student at Bennett University pursuing bachelor's in CS. The topic of discussion is impact of AI on faith and religion. The history of technology has shown us that humans are constantly trying to create something more intelligent than ourselves. From the first time a human looked at their own reflection and thought, I know I'm here, to the invention of the computer, our quest for understanding has been one of curiosity and wonder. In this topic, we will be focusing on the intersection of religion and technology. How do we reconcile our beliefs about artificial intelligence with our own thoughts? How might the advances in AI impact faith, ethics, and morality as we struggle to comprehend what it means for a machine to be human? The relationship between technology and religion has been central to many discussions and about new technologies, how they may change society, and machines that think like people, robots designed by some deity or a government agency, or nanotech used for good or evil. In this topic, we will be focusing on the intersection of religion and technology. All these questions lead us to wonder about a deeper question. Can faith be used to guide AI and its ethics? A reporter of the New York Times by the name of Linda delved into this question in her article. She took part in a study conducted by a Dr. Botcher, a former Microsoft general manager who is now pursuing a PhD in AI and spirituality at the University of St. Andrews in Scotland. In the study, people of different faiths were involved and were told to ask questions about existence to Alexa and Google Home. He had programmed a series of AI devices to tailor the responses according to our respective spiritual affiliations. By analyzing the responses, Dr. Botcher hoped to understand how our devices are transforming the way society thinks and what about the big questions of the life. What we observe in the society is that amidst the increasing scrutiny of technology's role in everything from policing to politics, ethics has become an industry safe word, but no one seemed to agree on what those ethics were. People in the industry are taking the involvement of faith seriously these days. They are forced to contemplate the impact of religion and AI. Paul Taylor, a former Oracle product manager who is now a pastor at the Peninsula Bible Church in Palo Alto, California, had an epiphany one night after watching a movie with his family when he commanded his Amazon Echo device to turn the lights back on. I realized at one point that what I was doing was calling forth the light and the darkness with the power of my voice, which is the God's first spoken command, let there be light. And there was light. And now I am able to do that. He mentioned, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Or is it completely neutral? I don't know. It's certainly convenient and I certainly appreciate it, but it is affecting my soul at all. And the fact that I'm able to do this thing that previously only God could do, that's what his comment was. A new priest named Mindar is holding forth at Kodaiji. It is a 400-year-old Buddhist temple in Kyoto, Japan. Like other clergy members, this priest can deliver sermons and move around to interface with the worshippers. But Mindar comes with some unusual traits. He has a body made of aluminum and silicone, for starters. Mindar is a robot. He is designed to look like Canon, the Buddhist deity of mercy. The $1 million machine is an attempt to reignite people's passion for their faith in a country where religious affiliations are on a decline. For now, Mindar is not AI powered. It just recites the same pre-programmed sermon about the Heart Sutra over and over. But the robot's creators say that they have plans to give it a machine learning capability that will enable it to tailor feedback to worshippers' specific spiritual and ethical problems. Robots are changing other religions too. In 2017, Indians rolled out a robot that performs the Hindu Aarti ritual, which involves moving a light around and round in front of a deity. That same year, in the honor of the Protestant Reformation's 500th anniversary, Germany's Protestant Church created a robot called Bless You Too and gave it a pre-programmed blessings which blessed over 1,000 people. Then there is Santo, short for Sanctified Theomorphic Operator. It is a 17-inch tall robot reminiscent of figurines of Catholic saints. If you tell it you're worried, it will respond by saying something like this. From the Gospel according to the Matthew, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. Roboticist Gabriel Trovato designed Santo to offer spiritual succor to elderly people whose mobility and social contact may be limited. Next, he wants to develop devices for Muslims, though it remains to be seen what form those might take. As more religious communities begin to incorporate robotics, in some cases AI powered and in others not, it stands to change how people experience faith. It may also alter how we engage in ethical reasoning and decision making, which is a big part of religion. Some cultures are more open to religious robots than others. Japanese worshippers who visit Mindar are reportedly not too bothered by the questions about the risk of siliconizing spirituality. That makes sense given that these robots are completely and commonly so common in the commonplace in the country, including the religious domain. For years now, people who can't afford to pay a human priest to perform a funeral have had the option to pay a robot named Pepper to do it at a much cheaper rate. And in China, at Beijing's Longquan Monastery, an android monk named Jianer recites Buddhist mantras and offers guidance on those of matters of faith. What's more is that the Buddhism's non-dualistic metaphysical notion that everything has inherent Buddha nature, that all beings have the potential to become enlightened, may predispose its adherents to be receptive to spiritual guidance that comes from technology. At the temple in Kyoto, a local priest, Goto puts it like this, that Buddhism isn't a belief in God, it is pursuing Buddha's path. It doesn't matter whether it's represented by a machine, a piece of scrap metal, or even a tree. Westerners seem to be more disturbed by mind art, likening it to Frankenstein's monster. In Western economics, we don't yet have robotics enmeshed in many aspects of our lives. What we do have is a pervasive cultural narrative, reinforced by Hollywood blockbusters, about our impending enslavement at the hands of the robot overlords. Plus, the Abrahamic religions, like Islam or Judaism, tend to be more metaphysically dualistic. There is the sacred and then there is the profane, and they have more misgivings than Buddhism about virtually depicting divinity, so they may take the issue with the Minda star iconography. There are drawbacks to this as well. A risk that has to do with how AI priests would handle ethical queries and decision making. Robots whose algorithms learn from the previous data may nudge us towards decisions based on what people have done in the past, incrementally homogenizing answers to our queries and narrowing the scope of the spiritual imagination. AI systems can be particularly problematic in that they often function as black boxes. We typically don't know what sort of biases are coding into them or what sorts of human nuance and context they're failing to understand. In this case, a human priest who knows your broader context as a whole person may gather this and give you the right recommendation. An Android priest might miss the nuance and just respond to the localized problem as you've expressed it. The fact is, human clergy members do so much more than provide the answers. They serve as the anchor for the community. They bring people together. They offer pastoral care as well. And they provide human contact, which is in danger of becoming a luxury good as we create robots to work more cheaply than the work of the people. Wrapping up the video, I would like to say that there is still a lot of research to be done in this domain, a ton of opinions to be considered. We tend to think of it as an either or framework. It's either us or the robots. But this is more about the partnership and not replacement. It can be symbiotic in nature if we take it as a right approach. What matters in the end is how AI helps us evolve and creates a positive impact on our society and the humankind. Thank you so much.